Hello, this video is the interior of spaceships. Have you ever thought about what the interior of an extraterrestrial spaceship looks like? I sure have. Well, from what I understand is that, and this is from, let's see, Bob Lazar. He was a guy who was contracted by the government. He worked for MJ-12 and Area 51 to try and back engineer, I think, this flying saucer that crashed in Roswell. I think they had a couple of them that crashed. The one that crashed in Roswell was humans from the future, parallel universe Greys, who I think there was actually a human with them who got struck by lightning and they crashed. So anyways, he saw it and it would like shoot up in the sky, this little tuft of light underneath it, and hover around. But anyway, he used element 102. I talked about that before. But anyway, he goes inside of it, and they control this thing with these little these little indentions for the hands with these little dots. I saw the photos of it. So I guess you put your hand on it, and then out of your little finger chakra, you can send your thought pulses to communicate with your ship. And so that's how they fly them. I guess now, according to Bashar, who is a hybrid human alien, hybrid gray alien human hybrid, he says that their ships are alive. They're actually conscious. They're self-conscious. So when they travel back and forward in time and through dimensions, they, in parallel universes, and from one side of the galaxy to the other, they're actually communicating with their ship and kind of creating with their mind a new reality to go to, a new consciousness to invent themselves into. So that's interesting. Now the inside of the ship is very, like when Bob Lazar went into it, he said it was really interesting because it's not how you would imagine a room to look like. Like they didn't use a very didn't make a whole lot of sense how they occupied the space. Like it didn't, like they wouldn't be able to pack as much stuff in there as we could if we designed it, because there was no angles. It was all round. It was all curvatures to everything, and there was no seam. Like if you see a car, you would see the seam where the two pieces of metal go together with the little rubber or glue that would hold it together or whatever, but there's absolutely no seam in this in the inside or outside of the spaceship. And they actually, like the door, not even for the door, there was no seam. The door would just appear out of nothing, like the ship is actually liquid. You know how you would melt down liquid and it would just melt all together and then it would open up. So Bashar said it's kind of like like a template, like if, and I was actually compared it to like a website. I think computers and websites are kind of similar to that, in that you have these different templates that you use and you plug it in, and then boom, you have a whole new structure, and then you plug it in, a whole new structure in there. Although that's just digital in our world, but in their world it's actually physical, where it works like that. And maybe that's because they live actually in another dimension where their materials are more liquid, fluid. So anyway, he said that they have like I guess different kinds of metal or alloy or some kind of something. And yeah, they just plug in a new code, a new template, and it would just form the insides of the ship to whatever they needed. So I guess if they have 5 occupants, they would have a 5-bedroom, and then they plug in the little other one for the 6-bedroom one, and it just, the insides just reform to occupy the form of the new template for the inside of the other one. So so like how could that work scientifically? Well, he said, logically, he said we wouldn't have the technology for that for a long time. He didn't say when. I'm thinking maybe, I don't know, 300 years more or something like that. I guess in 300 years we're going to be completely integrated intergalactically, but and actually in 50 years we will, but like I said, in 300 years completely. So I guess maybe by 300 years, but I guess metal, there's a certain kind of material you can make that can communicate, maybe because it's what's that word? Micro. Uh, oh man, it's a new technology we have where you can make little tiny little robots, nanobots to go crawl through your veins to clean up your veins and stuff. So maybe we could make something like that where each little molecule of this material is individual and can communicate with each other to know what's going on in the whole, and so it would know exactly where to go, where to place itself, according to the signal that passes through it. So, and then maybe for a computer to be that smart, it would actually have to be alive. Like a soul would actually move into it and live inside of it, kind of like in Terminator, where the machines became self-aware. Only it's good, because the people driving it and the civilization lives in is good. So that's what the insides of spaceships look like. And also, I guess they have spaceships where you can go, where it's just a 30-foot long spaceship, but then you go inside of it and it's like 900 miles long, because they occupy another dimension in there. Like they have a little portal that opens up to another dimension that the spaceship controls. I actually had like a weird dream about that like a month ago. There was a plane flying across the sky, and I go in the plane, and the plane had a basement. So there you go. That's what the insides of spaceships look like.